Well, tomorrow, the Miami Dolphins NFL season somewhat officially starts, being that it's their first preseason game. So, you know what that means. Time to put this mother liquor on. What is up, Finn fans? You guys thought that I wasn't going to be a husband for the football season? No, I just got this really cool Miami Dolphins wedding band. So I'll be wearing that. Also, what'd you guys think of that new intro? That is going to be the new intro for the new season, so you guys will see it tomorrow for the live stream. I thought, why not throw it in here for this video as well. So we are going to be previewing first preview of the season. Oh, football. It's here. We're watching Miami Dolphins football tomorrow. Oh, the goosebumps. Literally have goosebumps. I don't know if you can see it. I got goosebumps. We're going to be previewing this game tomorrow. Now, I'm going to go over like who's going to play, who's not going to play. I'm going to go over what I'm going to be looking for and all that stuff. It's going to be a fun video, and I am pumped. I hope to see a lot of you guys. I will be live streaming starting around 6:45. I hope to see a lot of you guys come hang out. I think I'm going to do the whole game. I haven't decided if I'm going to do the whole game. And then obviously afterwards, I'm going to do a recap of the game, tell you guys what I thought about and all that stuff. But let's jump into this. And normally during the season, during my previews, we look at the injury report. We look at the matchup. I give you my 5 things, and then I give you my prediction. Comment below if there's anything you'd like for me to add to that, right? Those are the 4 things I normally go over. Something you want me to add? Do you want me to talk about the weather? Do you want me to talk about certain things? Comment below, let me know, and let's jump into this. So first things first, we are going to look at the depth chart, and I'm going to kind of give you an idea of who I think isn't going to play tomorrow. So again, we've already seen this depth chart, but you can scan it with your eyes. It's a little bit bigger here so you guys can see it. Looking on the offensive side, who I think will not be playing tomorrow. Don't think Tyreek Hill will be playing tomorrow. I do not think Teron Armstead will be playing tomorrow. I don't think that Connor Williams will be playing tomorrow. I don't think Robert Hunt will be playing tomorrow. I don't think Raheem Mostert or Jeff Wilson will be playing tomorrow. I don't think Tua Tagovailoa will be playing tomorrow, and I don't think that Jalen Waddle will be playing tomorrow. So that still gives them a big chunk and portion of the wide receivers they can work with because they have a ton of wide receivers. Durham Smythe might not play tomorrow, so they still have a good amount of the tight ends. Running backs, they still are going to have 4 in Myles Gaskin, Savon Ahmed, Chris Brooks, and I do think we'll see a little bit of Devon Achane. If not, it might just be Myles Gaskin, Chris Brooks, and Savon Ahmed. And, you know, I think most of the offensive line, especially Liam Eichenberg, especially Austin Jackson, are going to play, and we're going to kind of find out who is going to compete for that left guard spot, but I don't think Armstead, Connor Williams, or Robert Hunt will be playing tomorrow, and I don't think Tua is going to play tomorrow. I would play Tua next week, Saturday against the Houston Texans, which will be on NFL Network, for a little bit, like a drive or two. Get him out there, get him warmed up, let him play a little bit. I don't think Tyreek Hill is going to play at all in preseason, nor Teron Armstead. But get him out there, warm him up, and this and that. But I wouldn't have him play against the Jags. I'd have him play one game, if that. And then looking at the defense, who I don't think will be playing tomorrow. I don't think Christian Wilkins will be playing tomorrow. I don't think that Sealer will be playing tomorrow. I don't think... No, I don't think Ogba will be playing tomorrow. I don't think Phillips. I don't think Baker. I don't think Long Jr. I don't think Bradley Chubb. Obviously, Nick Needham won't be. I don't think Xavier Howard. I don't think Javon Holland. Other than that, I think everyone else will be playing. Brandon Jones. Actually, no, because he's still coming off an injury, but I do think we'll see Trill Williams out there. But yeah. So a good portion of the D-line. All the starting linebackers I don't think will be playing. Xavier Howard won't be playing. Obviously, Nick Needham won't be playing. Jalen Ramsey's injured. He won't be playing. But I do think he'll be on the sideline. I think he'll be there. But they have such a depth at corner that there'll be that rotation. But yeah, I don't think any of those. I think a big portion of this defense won't be playing tomorrow. And I think tomorrow also is going to be super vanilla. Like super-de-duper vanilla. And then you're looking at the special teams. Obviously, we need the kicker. We need the punter, Blake Ferguson. I think Braxton Berrios is going to be do kick and punt returning. I think we're going to see that. But like I said, like Mostert, Tyreek Hill, Waddle, you're not going to see those guys. Maybe not even Devon Achane back there. But I do think you'll see a big portion of Braxton Berrios doing kick and punt return. So, like, a big portion. How many guys did I say I won't see play tomorrow? You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So if they're not injured, 19 players probably won't play tomorrow. So you don't need to, especially with like Jalen Phillips or Emmanuel Agba or Christian Wilkins. You don't really need to see them play. I know some people are going to be like, Tua should play tomorrow. I don't think you need to see him play tomorrow. For me, Tua's problem wasn't his ability. It was his availability. So I don't think you need to see Tua play tomorrow. But that's who I think is going to play tomorrow. They might throw a whole monkey wrench in there and be like, you know what, I kind of want to see Jalen Phillips and Bradley Chubb out there, or I want to see certain guys, this, and that. But again, me personally, I don't think some of your stars and some of your starters need to play tomorrow. I don't think so. You have a lot of depth you need to get through, and you need to figure out who is going to be good enough, especially on the defensive side and the offensive line, to make this team. So that's what I got for who is playing tomorrow. Now I'm going to talk about some of the things I'm going to be looking for when it comes to this game. Now, it's preseason, right? We're all going to get a big hoopla out of preseason. If the Dolphins win, it's a good thing. Obviously, I'm going to be very happy if the Dolphins win. If they lose, it's going to be disappointing depending on how they lose. Like if they lose in the fourth quarter with the fourth stringers in there, then I'm like, I want to see what they can do on the back end or the front end of all that. But it's preseason. Take a little bit of stock in it, just like training camp. Take a little. Again, the Miami Dolphins don't have open practice until August 23rd. So they're going to have a ton of practice that is going to be closed off to the fans. And they're going to be working on a lot of things. And we're going to have to go off of what we're hearing from the beat writers and stuff like that. Because even some of you guys that were there are saying, oh, I'm hearing certain things and I disagree, yada, yada. So now this is when they're going to really open the things up because you guys won't be recording it and putting it out there. So this is when they're going to really work on it. So again, we'll take what we heard and all that stuff with a grain of salt. But let's talk about what I'm looking for. First and foremost, depth. I'm looking at the depth. I want to see, who's going to step up in certain situations. Like I said, there's going to be a big portion of the offense and defense that isn't going to be playing. So I want to see the depth. I want to see what Kendall Lamb, Isaiah Wynn, Dan Feeney. I want to see Cedric Abuhi. I want to see, Braxton Berrios. I'm very excited to see Braxton Berrios do his thing. Same thing with Robbie Chosen. I think Robbie Chosen's going to get like a first quarter play time. Same thing with Braxton. And then they're probably going to be sat down because, again, they have a lot of wide receivers they can put out there. I'm excited to see what Eric Izukoma can do. I want to see what Eric Sorbert can do. Tyler Croft, the big tight end. I'm excited to see Ryan Hayes and the depth. I want to see the depth we have and what these guys can do. Especially on the offense and then the defensive side. I'm excited to see Brandon Peely. I'm excited to see Malik Reed. I want to see what Channing Tindall can do. Again, he didn't play much last year, so I want to see what he can do. Aubrey Miller, I'm hearing great things about him. I want to see Noah. Is he growing? Is he being put into that position? Cater, again, he's Cater and Braxton and Chosen and those types of guys who, even Devon Achane, they might get a series or two, right? But then like Cam Smith, I want to see, is Trill Williams actually going to be out there? I want to see what Elijah Campbell, Deshaun Elliott, these guys I'm hearing good things in camp about. I want to see what they can do. Bryce Thompson, I'm hearing good things about. So I want to see the depth. I want to see, God forbid, if an injury happens, because this is the NFL, injuries happen, is that next man up going to be good, right? I want to see what they can do. So I'm looking at the depth. Obviously, the next thing I'm really looking at is the blocking. Now, my prediction is 3 of the starters on this offensive line aren't going to play, right? I do want Austin Jackson out there, and I do want Liam Eichenberg out there. Now, I don't think Liam Eichenberg is going to be the starter at left guard. I honestly think it's going to be Isaiah Wynn. And if that's the case, maybe Isaiah Wynn doesn't even play. And you get Liam Eichenberg, all the reps and stuff. So I want to see the blocking. I want to see how well this offensive line does, because that video, and I will pop it up, of Tua just getting completely engulfed by the Falcon defensive line is gone around the gone around the internet. Now I've now seen it on TikTok, on NFL memes. I've seen it everywhere, where they are making jokes that he is going to get concussed and he's not going to play for a certain amount of time, and that's kind of messed up. Making fun of somebody with concussion problems and all that stuff. But I want to see what this blocking can do. I want to see what the depth that the blocking can do, and I want to see if they can hold their own against the Falcons. Now, a lot of people underestimate how good that Falcons pass rush kind of was last year. Good guys on there, right? Really underrated. So I want to see what this offensive line blocking can do. I want to see what the running game can do. Now, again, I don't expect Raheem Mostert out there. I don't expect Jeff Wilson out there. They've been banged up, right? Now, is this a time where, let me get to that, because I'm getting ahead of myself. So I want to see what Myles Gaskin, Savon Ahmed, Chris Brooks, and again, Devon Achane, if he plays, I expect a series or two in the same realm of Braxton Berrios and Robbie Chosen and Cedric Wilson Jr. and all that stuff. If you don't see, I'm getting ahead of myself because there's a lot of things I need to talk about. So I want to see what the running game can do. I want to see if they're opening lanes up. I want to see all that stuff. Now, Alec Ingold isn't going to play. He got banged up yesterday, so he's not going to play. So you might see some type of things where, like, Tanner Connor is in at fullback at some point, or, Julian Hill, or some of these guys start to play that fullback position, these tight ends that can, be interchanged in that, right? And the last thing before I get into more spiels about this game, health. I don't want any more injuries. We've already got so many injuries and bang-ups throughout camp, and I'm not even just talking with the Miami Dolphins. I'm talking about the NFL in general. There's so many, players getting injured. It's ridiculous. I want a healthy game on both sides. I want all preseason games to go and end healthy, because it is getting crazy during training camp. So now into my little spiels, right? First and foremost, I think that, Chris Grier is sitting back and he's looking at this roster, right? And he's looking at the left guard position, and he's looking at how it's kind of going, and he's probably thinking to himself, we need to fix some things here and there, right? Like, he's adding certain pieces, like he had corners and he added defensive linemen, like he added Deshaun Hand. He added Perry Nickerson. He added Mark Gilbert. He added certain pieces here and there. Now, a lot of it had to do with probably Vic Fangio, like, I need some more depth here and there. But I think what he does, I think he's going to watch this preseason game and he's going to really decide, all right, we are needing help here, right? Like, say the run game doesn't produce, or, there's the lanes, but then, it kind of, these running backs aren't doing their thing when it comes to Gaskins, Ahmed, or whoever. He might think to himself, all right, let me make those incentives for Dalvin Cook a little bit easier for him to attain, so we can bring him on, because we kind of need help in the running back room. Or all of the left guards are playing like doo-doo butter, and he's like, all right, let me call up Dalton Reisner and see how much it would cost to bring him in. Or is there a guy that would want to, like, can we trade one of our guys, one of our assets, to get some offensive line help, and stuff like that. So I think this game also is going to give him, give him and us that realm of looking at it and saying, do we need to make a move in certain positions? Because I think it was the Saints are making moves, and then I think the Seahawks were making moves. There's a bunch of teams that are making moves, bringing in guys. Like, I know Anthony Barr is meeting with the Saints, and I think the Eagles signed 2 linebackers, and some pretty good linebackers too. And moves are being made at this point, because you still have a few more weeks until the season starts. So you want to start adding players so they can get used to your playbook. So I think that's another thing that we can be looking for, is like who's going to fit and all that stuff. And then it's a big thing because the cuts are going to happen, right? So now you think the Miami Dolphins are just watching their guys. They're watching all the preseason games. And a lot of these guys, a lot of these second stringers, third stringers, fourth stringers, when it comes to our wide receivers, there's six. There's a depth of six. When it comes to corners, there's a depth of seven. So some of these guys might not see the field because of that, but a lot of these guys are working because on August 29th, it goes from 90 to 53. So like I've been telling you, there's going to be a huge influx of talent in the free agency pool of what? That's 36 players times 32. I'm not going to do that math. Hey, Siri, what's 36 times 32?
36 times 32 is 1,152.
That's 1,100, and I don't know if you heard it. That's 1,152 players. Wow. Right into the free agency pool. Now, is it going to happen all within one day? No, it'll probably be trickled. Probably happen like Monday, Tuesday, maybe even Sunday after some of the preseason game, the last preseason game. But it's going to be a huge influx of talent. So that's a thing. Also, I was going to say this too. Like Cedric Wilson Jr., if he doesn't get a snap, if he doesn't get one snap all game, when he should, right? He's not considered a starter, right? A lot of people want to pencil him in as that third wide receiver. To me, it'd be like Chosen or Braxton. If Cedric Wilson or even Emmanuel Ogbah, but Emmanuel Ogbah might not get any snaps because he's kind of considered, one of the starting defensive linemen. If Cedric Wilson does not get a snap, I wouldn't be surprised if they trade him, because that's another thing you kind of have to look for either this week or next week when it comes. Next week is kind of dress rehearsal. Before, when the preseason was 4 games, the third game was always the dress rehearsal. No, none of the starters played the first preseason game, and then you got a quarter, if that, in the second preseason game, and then the third preseason game, the starters played a half. And then the fourth preseason game, nobody played except for third, fourth, and fifth stringers. Now it's like the second game is that dress rehearsal, so your starters don't play your first and your third, they play just the second for a little bit. So if some of these guys don't play next week, someone might be on the trade block, because, and I know a lot of people are like, well, then why won't they just wait for them to be cut? Because then you have to compete on getting them, and you got to hope you can get them. Whereas if you trade for them, you got that guarantee that you got them. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting. But I've been talking long enough. I'm just very excited that football's back. And we get to watch Miami Dolphin football tomorrow. So I'm rambling a lot. I'm talking about a lot of things that are going on in my brain. But comment below. Let me know. What are you looking forward to in tomorrow's game? What are you looking for specifically? Like I said, the blocking, the depth, this, and that. What are you looking for specifically? Who do you not think is going to play? Who do you think is going to play that is surprising? And, yeah. And I'll see you tomorrow, 6:45. I'm going to be live, and we're going to be watching the Dolphins-Falcons game together. I will not be showing it on TV, on the computer, because I can't, because of copyright. The stream will be taken down, but I will see you guys tomorrow. Hope to see all of you. Let's have a blast. Dolphin football's back, baby. Dolphin football's back. But like usual, stay classy. If ends up.